Folks, we have a huge election in Wisconsin, the Supreme Court election, that is going to have huge implications, not only in the state of Wisconsin, but this could affect Republicans at the federal level if they lose this election here. Obviously, we know that there is a lot at stake here. It is really control over the Wisconsin Supreme Court. As of right now, there is a liberal majority, a 4-3 liberal majority on the Supreme Court right now, and a victory here could give the conservatives once again a majority on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. We cannot allow these rogue justices to hijack what elected officials are supposed to be doing. We just can't allow it to happen. So this is a election between really the Democrat Susan Crawford and the Republican Brad Schimel. Obviously, they're technically nonpartisan, but we all know how this works. This is going to be a huge race. Huge race. You have people, it's like you have huge endorsements in this race for Susan Crawford. Former President Barack Obama, Tammy Baldwin, Sherrod Brown, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, Gwen Moore, Tim Walz. You have just huge names throwing their support. A lot of labor unions, a lot of organizations, the political parties. Then you look at Brad Schimel. Obviously, some huge ones. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Ron Johnson, Tom Tiffany, Derek Van Orden. It's like you have some pretty big names throwing their support behind Brad Schimel and behind Susan Crawford. Obviously, right now, there's been a lot of polling that shows Susan Crawford is most likely to win this race. Now, I'm not going to take the polling literal, but there is obviously a trend towards Susan Crawford. We know that in elections like this, it is very well known that Republicans tend to not do as well in these races. And it is just simply because Democrats have an advantage in lower turnout elections. It used to be the opposite way around, but Democrats have an advantage in lower turnout elections. The voters that represent the Democrat Party are much higher propensity voters versus the GOP. Very much higher propensity voters. This will be a turnout game, just like most elections recently. This will be a turnout game. If Republicans can get big turnout in counties where they've performed very well in the past, places like Grant County, Crawford County, Vernon County, Lafayette County, Richland County, we need these strong, and really, it also comes down to places like Dane County, Eau Claire County, Greene County, Rock County, Iowa County, Columbia County. It does come down to these because, not only do we need to run the margin up in these red districts, these rural, smaller districts, not only do you need to run the margin up there, but you also need to cut down that margin in those big counties like Eau Claire County, places like Dane County, Milwaukee County, Douglas County, Bayfield County, Ashland County. You look back at the 2020 or 2023 Supreme Court race where you had a really blowout election for the Democrats. They won by 11 points here. It's almost, you look at all the most recent elections. Ron Johnson won the state very by about a point. President Trump won the state by about a point. President Biden won the state by less than a point. It's like these are very close elections in Wisconsin. Now, when you're looking at these counties like Dane County, when Democrats win statewide elections, they see above 80% of the vote going to the Democrat nominee in Dane County. In races where Republicans are winning, you see it closer, under 80%. You look back to the 2022 Senate race. Mandela Barnes only got 77%. You look at it when in President Trump's 2024 victory, Kamala Harris only got 74%. Go back to Biden. Look at what Biden got. Madison County, only 75%, but still Biden was able to carry the state. You saw places that that voted for President Trump in 2016 switch over and vote in this election. So look at this. You're seeing Douglas County winning it by 10 points, 14 points, 10 points. You jump over and look at the presidential election here. A lot closer. 6 points. 11 points. Another like 5 points. Look at Eau Claire. Eau Claire, Kamala's only winning by 54 points. When here, Something very, very similar. So obviously, this is going to be a huge test for the Republican Party. Can they turn out their voters in these elections that matter, these special elections, when they are not in November and they're not in 2016, 2020, 24, 28, 32, 36? Can they turn out their base of low propensity voters when Donald Trump is not on the ballot? You look at where's the biggest shift that you're going to see from the 24 election. Where do we need to be looking? We need to be looking at these couple counties that are right here. Lafayette County, Grant County, Crawford County, Vernon County, Richland County, Sauk County. It's like these are Monroe County. These are where it's going to matter. Can the Republicans not only run the margin up here, but win here? You saw in 2023. Look at this. The Democrat who is running in this race won here. She won. Which is terrible. It is absolutely terrible that she is winning. Look at Lafayette, Crawford, Ashland, Richland, Jackson, and Bayfield, Iowa County, Vernon County. You're seeing the Democrats winning here. When you really, really need the Republicans to not only be winning here, but to be running the margin up in these counties here. That is how the Republicans are going to win this election. It's going to be tight. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to say that you're probably going to see it's probably going to be a 2 or 3 point race, if I'm being 100% honest. And we do have some data from Michael Pruser. Let's see. So far, and this is Brown County, the town has seen just under 1,300 total in-person votes, with over 2,100 early and absentee votes casted, brings the total to about 3,400. In the 23 Wisconsin Supreme Court race, the total turnout was about 4,300, and it appears this year's vote is going to be somewhere closer to 6,000, which that's what the Republicans need to be seeing. We need to be seeing huge, huge amounts of voters turnout, because this is how Republicans win. You need these low propensity voters to come out. We know that the voters in Dane County, Iowa County, Greene County, Rock County, we know they come out whether it's a special election, whether it's an election in April, November, January, December, February, March, April, May. Whenever the election is, the voters in Dane County show up. The voters in Eau Claire County show up. The voters in Milwaukee show up. The test is going to be, will the Republicans be able to turn their base out? Will they be able to turn their base of low propensity voters out in this race? Like I said, right now, I'm going to lean toward Susan Crawford winning by about 2 points right now, 2.5 points. But we're going to see. It's like even the betting markets have it. Right around 85% for Crawford right now. And it really is unfortunate that this is where we're at, because they're going to have a lot of power when it comes to redistricting, abortion rates, different stuff like that. That's what we're looking at here. We're going to see what happens though. But now, jumping over to the other election here, and let's find it real quick. The other election that we are looking at is going to be a race, and if I can get it to pull up on our screen here, why is she not pulling up? A big, big part of this is now going to be Florida's 6th and 1st congressional district. These are going to be the two districts that we're really going to get a gauge for how Donald Trump is able to perform and the Republican Party is able to perform when Trump is not on the ballot. When Trump is not on the ballot, obviously. U.S. House District 1, Jimmy Patronis is running to replace Matt Gaetz, and you have Randy Fine, who is running to replace Mike Waltz. Obviously, these are seats that voted, and let's just look up. And then let's look up Florida Congressional District 6. Not 6 and 1. We want 6. We know, look at this. We're seeing for president, 30 points. Governor voted for even more. Almost 40 points? 30 points? It's like, this is a plus. The Cook Political Report Voting Index has it at a plus 14 Republican district. Meanwhile, you have congressional district number 1 a Republican plus 19 congressional district. Obviously, 2 very big Republican strongholds. This has a lot of implications when it comes to the federal government right now. There's a very slim majority that the Republicans have. They can basically afford to lose 1, maybe 2 votes. Maybe 2 votes. That's what we're seeing here. We need these to be filled with good Republicans. I'm not very worried that Republicans are going to lose this. I think Jimmy Patronis is going to win in Congressional District 1, and I believe Randy Fine will win in Congressional District 6. There was some speculation that maybe, just maybe, the Democrats could win in Congressional District 6. I really just don't see it happening. And most of the data shows that it's not going to happen either. Let's see. And this is in Congressional District 6. Turnout is booming. Republicans are coming out. Exactly 19,000 ballots were cast today. Through 10 a.m., the composite, Republican plus 36. The overall current electorate is Republicans plus 13. It's like this is massive for the GOP. The real question is going to be, what does the margin come down to? Obviously, in these off-year elections, off-time elections, that's not even in November, we see a lot lower turnout, and those low propensity voters really do fall off. Can the GOP turn out? You have people like Elon Musk pouring a ton of money into these races. You can see right here that early in-person voting leaning towards the Republicans by almost 10,000 votes. Early election day voting leaning 17,000 votes. Party turnout for the GOP, huge numbers for the GOP. It's like looking very good in Congressional District 6. Ultimately, though, I do see I see the Republicans winning in both of these seats here. The big thing is just going to come down to who's going to be able to win in this Supreme Court race. That is really what it comes down to. Who can win? It's like we cannot let someone like Susan Crawford come in and allow this to happen. We just can't. We cannot allow a radical nut job like this lady on the Supreme Court in Wisconsin. It just is as simple as that. We cannot allow this to happen. Well, we're going to find out. We'll let you know tomorrow. We'll give you some updated results to see what's going on. Godspeed to everyone. We'll catch you next time.